quick word about last weekend before we look ahead. I mean, that kind of was as good as you could have hoped for, wasn't it, over in France?
Yeah, definitely what we'd planned to go and do. And in a way, we've been almost close to clicking throughout the season. And unfortunately, it needed a kick up the backside from a poor second half against Bristol to kind of get that reaction. That's been a big focus this week, is that we don't want to need a reaction. We want to be desperate to go out there and perform and desperate to give ourselves a big advantage in Europe.
I know before the European campaign started, guys were talking about backing up performances. You've produced one-off good results, big results in Europe, but you've kind of slipped up when trying to follow it up. Obviously, the opportunity comes pretty quick for you this weekend. How do you maintain the kind of form that you finished that game with and take it into this?
It's the big onus is kind of getting our own bits right. You can't go into too much detail looking at other teams and what they do, but if you have that kind of internal focus on getting the small bits of your game right and the small details of how hard you're prepared to go, it tends to kind of resolve itself and look after itself. But again, the big drive has really been that desperation that we need to show out on the pitch.
Now, Stuart Hogg's chatting over there, and Luke and Jack just left giving him a bit of stick. You gave him a bit of stick on your way into us. Obviously, he seems to have settled in as a bloke. How do you feel that he is as a guy, and how do you feel he's been going on the field as well?
Yeah, he settled in really well. He instantly bought into kind of what we're about, and instantly taking heat straight away, which is he kind of almost wanted it to happen. Out on the pitch, he's certainly letting some of his actions do the talking. That little nudge he put in, literally to a metre out from the touchline on the weekend, kind of showed the class he's got, and he's starting to show loads of brilliance on the pitch as well. So it's great to have him on board.
And just in general, obviously this last game was a fantastic result. A little bit stuttering in the Premiership in the first few games, I think most people would admit. Is there anything you could put that down to, or is it just one of those things?
It's difficult because we've kind of addressed a few things about it. It's not through lack of effort, it's probably the most pleasing thing to say. Obviously, we want that perfect performance, we want the result every game, particularly at home. It's more the small details rather than big, huge fixes. And we've been speaking about it for a while in terms of we are close to clicking, and thankfully we went out and showed it last weekend. So again, it's just making sure we can get everything smoothed over and that we're ready to really attack the game down at home come Saturday.
I'm not going to harp on about Saracens at all, but one quick question. Since we last spoke to anyone here, they've obviously decided not to appeal. Is that kind of almost a downer in a sense on the season, that your biggest rival isn't going to be your rival this year, or is it something that you're not too fussed about?
They're still a rival at the end of the day. It's still a strong team they'll have, and it's still been close games between us over the past couple of years. So just because what's happened off the field won't affect what happens on it.
So I meant as defending their title with the points deduction, they're kind of out of the race. Would it? I know we're looking so far ahead into the season, but would being successful this year at Twickenham be almost tarnished slightly by the fact that they're not at full speed for you?
I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't even thought that far ahead yet.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah, it's still cold outside. Yeah. When the sun starts to come out again, we'll start thinking about that, I think.
Fair enough. Thank you.
All right, cheers.